And we are streaming on Twitch. And we are streaming on Facebook. And we are streaming on YouTube. Welcome to Midjourney's Prompt Troubleshooting Jam Session. It is the 8th of December, 12/8/2025. It is about 11 a.m. here in Central Texas, beautiful blue skies, and we had a cold snap last night to nearly freezing, which is just horrifying for us. And, and now it's in the 40s. Outside my window right now is a small herd of mule deer, including a buck with a full set of antlers. So we have some our version of the seasonally appropriate ungulates here today. The cows are not here, but the deer definitely are. I posted a picture to the Discord chat a minute ago when he came through. I'll post it again so that you can see through my fence at that's him considering the barbed wire fence before he hops over to the other side. And now I see them milling around on the other side of that barbed wire fence. So you've joined Midjourney Prompt Troubleshooting Jam Session, which, despite my spending all this time on weather and deer, is actually about prompting. Welcome, Buttered Toast from Twitch. If you have a puzzling prompt or project that you've been working with and you would like to have the group consider it, we are there for you. We have Sinaida today, who opened with a question about about the coherency of hands and feet and faces. We do have an FAQ on our website and here in Discord that discusses some methods that may help improve coherency of hands and faces. And I thought we might talk about that first. I'll put the URL in the chat for the non-Discord folks as well if they want to bring that up. Do you guys feel like Midjourney has put together camera movements to be exact with the descriptions? Oh, are they tested? Does it work? I'm going to guess it does not. Snyder. For yeah, we have a we have a bunch of tested oh, look at that. It's not live. Control camera. It's not live, but we have a control camera FAQ that also has a bunch of vocabulary words in it that also don't work. So I mean, sometimes they work, sometimes, but I completely understand. So Sinaida has posted the image. Can you post the prompt of that image as well, Sinaida? And I'm going to keep your vocabulary up because I can add it. If you give me permission, I can add it to our community site. Welcome, Promptogram. Welcome, Himbo, Westendorf, Sinaida, Reason, Noob Lady, Mary Smith, Johnny, and Bert all have their microphones. If you want access to your microphone, you don't have to use it now, but if you want it later, you can just mention it and in the chat, and I will unmute you so that you can I can give you access to your mic. It doesn't have to be just my voice. Okay, so how do you improve the coherency of faces and hands? Not all the methods are printed here because there's the job ID doesn't help me. Can you just cut and paste the text of the prompt? Praying is good, says Himbo. Just the text of the prompt. We don't need the job ID. That was pretty impressive, though, that you managed to find the job ID. So the fastest way to improve faces and hands and things is to do a subtle variation of the picture. And a subtle variation of the picture often, since Midjourney is starting, like it's going to use your picture as its starting point and then iterate further upon it to do the variation. Sometimes that gives it enough time to fix faces and hands. So the first thing I would say is, I hope you didn't do this in draft mode.
Hi everyone. So I muted my mic, so I think it's going to be easier if we just like talk in voice. Since it's about my image. So I was trying to. So like when I was generating other images, I was trying to write that I want manicured hands with jewelry on it, and like specifying the exact color of the manicure and the jewelry was somewhat helping me to create hands normally. But like I feel like if I have some like a bit more complicated prompts, it's just like screwing it up, and like pretty much on like most of the images that I'm getting, it's giving me like very weird like hands movements and like all this like six finger stuff. And like I mean, it's been an issue with AI pretty much since the very beginning. But like all my hands are like very very, I don't know, weird. And like, I wonder if there's like a way to specify it, because like I try edit mode, and then I had an image of a glass sculpture, and it was just making like really crazy stuff when I was trying to put it in the editor and fix the hands there. It was pretty much making it just worse. But if there is any like word we could put, or like just, I don't know, it's like super confusing because I have to rerun the image after
So the first thing to do when you don't like the face and hands is to do a subtle variation of it. Just in case that fixes it up. Now it does change the image just a little bit, but a subtle variation can often help. The second method is to go into the editor and sort of do a select the hands and things and prompt again. Sometimes that occasionally Midjourney will go like, oh, I can interpret this image and understand how the face or hands should look in these spots. So that's another thing that occasionally works. A third thing that occasionally works is stop trying to talk about the hands. Take out all mention of the hands or the face from the prompt and let Midjourney use archetypal hands and faces, which it will do if you take it out of the prompt. And sometimes its archetype is strong enough to solve the problem. But the fourth one is to go the other direction. The fourth one is what you landed on when you talked about the manicure. Sometimes you can add phrases to the prompt that kind of guide Midjourney to creating the hands and faces correctly. By giving the subject a particular attitude or emotion or activity or aesthetic, you're suggesting to Midjourney how faces and hands might be composed, which may increase correctness. So those are opposites. The third and fourth method are inverses of each other. It's sometimes taking it all out helps, sometimes putting it all in helps. Method number 5 is to increase your EXP, add a little EXP, or increase your S, stylize, because those have more heavy-hitting rules for coherency, so that might help.
Is stylize
and it goes
S
on and
the
on.
same?
Yeah, stylize is abbreviated with --S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, none of these things help all the time. Some of these things help some of the time. Yeah, to use turning on personalization can help because there are more rules for coherency in the profile.
Oh, and then another question. If I like this 200 pictures where I select the global V7 profile, if I'm selecting pictures there, so like sometimes it's like a really nice picture, but it has like 7 fingers on the arm, it's better skip, right? Or like not say that I like it so that it doesn't use it in some like knowledge base or something.
It's only taking the aesthetic layer. So if you pick a picture with a messed up face, it doesn't say, ooh, she likes messed up faces. No. And nor does it ever refer to that actual picture. It takes some math off of the aesthetic layer of that picture and uses that math somewhere else.
Okay, so like technically, if I see like in a personal profile, I see like a girl with 7 fingers, it's still okay to select it.
It is still okay to select it if you like the aesthetic.
Okay, well, thanks for clarification.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you feel like you have some ideas for how you might improve faces and hands going forward?
Yeah, like you are too good in explaining other things, which were like, oh my God, that works. So I thought that there is some magical, like, I don't know, some
No
dash
magic.
fingers or like whatever.
Ah, that would be great. There's no magic, but there's lots of different things that, work immediately. And that subtle variation is usually the one. That's usually the one button solution. Um, so yeah, exactly, Himbo. Messed up faces are not in the aesthetic layer. Messed up faces are in the coherency layer. I say that with confidence, but of course, this idea of aesthetic layers and coherency layers, this is just me speaking metaphorically. That is a non-technical description of whatever might actually be happening. I use my metaphors and analogies freely because I'm talking about a black box, or I'm talking about generic diffusion. And even though I'm speaking about diffusion generically, that doesn't, I mean, diffusion in general, that doesn't mean that Midjourney is necessarily following the rules of general diffusion because it's a black box. Dash
Well,
dash weird. You know, to be honest, since it's loading up more rules for how things go, a low level of dash dash weird might still help fingers and faces, but it will also change your composition entirely. So I don't recommend it if you're just trying to do a small fix.
I never really use weird because I'm like sort of scared that it's gonna make like weird stuff. I usually have it on like very like either zero or like the very low character. But it's like would you say that there is any sort of like what would be the biggest influence of like all the parameters, and like is there a chance that I'm making too many things high and then so for example I have high weird, high, like I have several styles, I have a mood board and like all this kind of stuff. Like is it better to keep things cleaner, or like it's okay to add all of those like stuff?
For what's your goal? Prompt adherency or
Well,
coherency?
getting an image which is aesthetically pleasing, let's say it.
An image that's aesthetically pleasing, I pile on the parameters. It's fine. An image that is prompt adherency, meaning I want every single detail that's in my prompt to show up as I say it is. Follow my directions. Do all of this for me. Then actually taking a lot of those parameters out might help with prompt adherency. But beauty, which is correlated to coherency, almost all of the parameters in their high values are helping with that. So, I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said make a general rule, I'd say high values help coherency and low values help prompt adherence.
Thank you.
Hooray! We had a cool question to open with to open the event with. Using Sinidas as an image prompt, Johnny Bones has a ballerina with hands raised under blue light, arms extended and palms facing inward toward her head. Now he used method number 4, which is mention it with even more detail. One of the things that I
Very nice pens now.
Mhm. And he also increased stylize. You see that? That's the rules for coherency. It should be dash dash coherency if you're a technical person, you might think of it that way. Um, but that is just one image. You're saying that all the rejects probably had messed up hands, like the ones he didn't show us. Well, sure, but we only need one image to be good. Yeah. Well, Himbo, we're not trying to produce batches of perfect images. Well, I'm not. Maybe you are. Maybe you judge prompts by saying a 4 out of 4. That's the right prompt. If it's 3 out of 4 in the batch, that's a weaker prompt, and 2 out of 4, that's a really weak prompt. 1 out of 4 is a super weak prompt. For me, 1 out of 4 is already a good prompt. If you're getting a picture out of your batch that you can use, that prompt for me is pretty robust. And then it just gets better from there. That's what the questioners seem to want, a more or less perfect set of images, all 4 images. Sanaida, were you trying to get all 4 images to be perfect, or did you just need
No, not at
just
all. It
one?
was just no. It's more about like, well, I'm currently in like a place of exploring like what it actually can do, but like it just freaks me out when I'm trying to generate a girl, a girl, a guy, like I don't know, human person, and then there are all this like 7 fingers and or like completely unanatomical hands, and like yeah, it just freaks me out, and I wonder if like there is something other than just try that could be any relevant for like
Yeah.
making just things happen.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Thanks for
so
the- Thanks
hello?
for sharing this link.
Oh, yeah, the improved coherency link. It's got lots of stuff to try. The one thing that I didn't try and that I didn't put in here is, which is pray for VA. Yeah, exactly. One of the things I didn't put in here that sometimes people argue helps is increasing quality, the --Q. And I just want to talk about that for a minute. Now, our current group didn't mention it. Some people say, "Oh, you can increase the look of faces and hands with a higher Q value." Um, you
What is a Q
could.
value?
Q is quality. Um, let's see if I have this parameter here, quality. I don't know if it's if I have it on the web yet. I do. I have it on the web. What is quality? So quality has to do with the time the model has to spend on rendering your image. If you're into metaphors, it's the time the image has to bake in the oven. It influences the number of steps granted to the job. The higher the value of Q, the more steps, the more time spent on the job, the more attention the model has available to give to the prompt and parameters, so the better chance of robust coherence, adherence, and aesthetics. That's the idea.
But I'm guessing it will be taking more the GPU time.
It does. It quadruples your minutes, gobbles up your minutes.
Is it possible to use it on a relax mode?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So, but it'll take a quadruple the amount of time, I suppose. But anyway, what I wanted to say about Q is, despite the fact I've written this here, the more we're using it in V7, the more we're not sure this is true anymore. The more we see quality as increasing the number of steps devoted to aesthetics and aesthetic detail, not to prompt adherence and not to coherency in general. In other words, if --Q is an app, right, that does a job, the job it does is to iterate further on the aesthetics of the picture, not to iterate further on anything useful, not to iterate further on coherency or prompt adherence. So that's with my current testing. So when I have a prompt that produces funky hands, and I run the prompt with the high Q value, I get funky hands, but man, is the cuff near it detailed. Like you can see the lace. You know, like, I'm just like, why didn't you fix the hands? You've got all this extra time. And it's like, well, that's not what my instruction set said. My instruction set says, you know, embellishments and detail and texture and materials and color and light. Not coherency, not this face, not these hands, not this foot. Like, darn it. So I might have to change up how we talk about quality if that's true. I'm saying this out loud to you guys because maybe you guys will test it. Maybe you guys will chime in at some point in the future and tell me, yeah, my impression is like yours, that Q is spinning it's spending its steps on embellishment, not coherency. Does EXP improve the hands? It can. EXP is like stylize on steroids. It's like if stylize goes from 1 to 1000, EXP starts at 1000 and then goes up to 1000. No, it goes up to 100. So yes, it can. You have joined Midjourney's prompt troubleshooting jam session. We are talking about increasing the coherency of hands, feet, and faces using various tricks. If you have a question or puzzle or prompt problem or something you're trying to do that's not working, or just a question in general about Midjourney and prompting, please let us know. I would be very mad at my V8 if it jumped around and threw tomatoes at me.
Is there any date when we are expecting V8?
Hell no. I mean, gosh, golly heck, no. 2 weeks. It's a joke. We always say 2 weeks, and every day we say 2 weeks, so it's just perpetually in the future. Probably not this year. Probably next year. My folks on YouTube and Twitch, if you have any questions, just let us know. If you are watching this as a recording later, you can still put your questions in the comments and somebody will swing by and get an answer to you.
May I ask another rookie question? So, like, we have their style reference, the image reference, and the omni reference there. And like, let's say I want like there in a V6 there was a character reference C-ref, and now in V7 there is an omni reference. But I'm kind of like a bit messed in like all of this, like what difference it actually makes for making a character, and like which would have their higher weight. And so because they're in this knowledge base, there is description about their character with a C-ref.
Right. So you're asking about omni-reference. So the first thing I'll do is put
So C-ref will not work at all.
C-ref will not. C-ref is the old version of omni-reference, and it works with V6. It was renamed omni-reference in V7 because not only does it do people, but it's smart enough to do objects. And buildings and landscapes and trees and abstract shapes and so on. So because it's more powerful. So they renamed it omni-reference because you can use it for that. You could give it a picture of a sailboat and then get the same sailboat in your new picture. Or you can give it a picture of, a school teacher and get the same school teacher in your new picture. You know what I'm saying? People or objects or
So pretty much
entities.
blending something in a scene using the style of the scene, or like something along those
The
lines?
shape, the structure. It copies the object into the new image. Do you want to see a demonstration?
Yes, because I'm like, well, I tried testing, but like I think I'm just adding too much of style and too much of like other things, and it's just still kind of a blurry area, like how exactly it works.
Okay, so let's say I want this fellow here. Let me bring him up big for you. Okay, I'm gonna use the Omni reference to make this character sit on a park bench in a city. Okay, so I'm gonna add him to my Omni reference. There he is, and it's the default strength of 100 right now, just to show you. You guys able to see this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm gonna say a man sits on a park bench. I don't know. Man sits on a park bench. Let's just keep it simple. So what it's doing now is the Omni reference it's going to look at his face and it's going to try to apply his face to my character that I've specified here. So that's like how CREF works, right? So there's my guy, and now he's sitting on a park bench, looking quite himself. It's not done resing in yet, but okay. So there's my dude.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's pretty much putting him into the scene.
Right. It didn't. Now I don't have to keep it photographic. Because the ORF doesn't really control the style necessarily. So what I could do. That's interesting. Look, guys, my hover overs aren't showing up. Am I in organize? Is that why? No, look at that. No hover. So a man sits on the park bench, putting him as the Omni reference again. But this time I'm going to say a hand-drawn illustration for a hand-drawn illustration in the style of a storybook. Now it's going to use his face, but I'm controlling the style with the prompt. I can also add an sref if I wanted to. I don't have one handy. And it would then apply the sref, but it's still my guy. See, it maintained his face. Even though now it's not. Look, he got himself some birds. There's my guy. Oops, back to the other. So, but I can also, I don't have to do faces. Omni reference is smart enough that if I, let's see if I can find, I don't know. Here's that's the Louvre, right? So I can say, let's say an Egyptian pyramid in the desert. Where else is an Egyptian pyramid? It's
Underwater?
Oh, very nice. Nice answer. An Egyptian pyramid underwater in the style of a children's storybook. And I'm going to take, where's my Louvre? The Louvre. Okay.
I made a picture with quality 4, and yeah.
The Louvre, is that how it's said? The Louvre,
No.
the Louvre.
Not at all.
So, if I want this to look more like the Louvre, I might have to increase the omni-reference weight, which I'm not going to do with the slider. I'm just going to do OW, and I'm going to just freaking let me just max it out.
So like the
just-
higher their OW values, the more it's like the picture, and the less it will
No.
like change it.
No, it's not. It's not quite like that, which is why I'm showing you what happens when I max it out. When I max it out, does it look more like the Louvre?
Like the opposite.
Right. So what it's doing is I don't even know what it's doing. I mean, look, let me do it with the guy too, so you can see if I don't even know why they have it go up to 1,000 when it doesn't work. I mean, why not just stop it?
Yeah, that was a confusing part because like I was trying to generate and play it on my own, but then it was giving like, okay, what is going on? So I
Right.
thought, okay, I'll better ask Claire one next time.
All right. So what we think is happening with this looks great though. What we think is happening with high values of OW is that it seems with people it's not so shabby, but with everything else it seems to take a look at the semantic value of the thing. Let's see, just if I just put a pyramid. Oh, I forgot to increase the, hold on, you guys. Pyramid OW1000. It seemed like if you give it a particular skyscraper, Sinaida, and that skyscraper is swirled like a unicorn's horn with a pointy tip, but it looks like a giant unicorn's horn, but it's a skyscraper, and you put that in here, and you increase the omni reference weight to 1,000 because you really want it to look like that unicorn horn skyscraper. What it does is it either looks at the picture and decides this looks like a unicorn horn and contrives it to be a unicorn horn, or it says this looks like a skyscraper and just puts a archetypal skyscraper in without any of the detail from the original picture. Which is just super annoying. Super annoying. It doesn't it doesn't seem to grab objects the way we want them to be grabbed.
Is there any way to put it in words, like use their image from the omni-reference and do this with that if you use
No.
conversation mode?
No, conversational mode does not use attachments. If you want to do something like that, you can absolutely use Nano Banana, which is Gemini.
Yeah, it's not that nice. I was trying to make an angel with airplane wings, and with Midjourney it was just like a total trash. Then I went to Nano Banana and like put the images that I was using as a reference, and well, it did generate something, but it was just like ugly, like nah.
Right. So then you have to take the image back into Midjourney and work on it further to get your aesthetics back. So I spend a lot of time until Midjourney's prompt adherence is better, until its tools for directly controlling images is better. Midjourney isn't good at that. Midjourney's market differentiating claim to fame is the aesthetics. The other tools they give us as a favor. And when they fail, or fall short, I use my favorite prompt adherence tool, which right now happens to be Nano Banana. I get what I need, with a conversation with Nano, and then I bring those images back into Midjourney in order to, finally manipulate Midjourney to give me the image I want with Midjourney's superior aesthetics and style. So it's a
Very
multi-step workflow. It's a commitment. Bert says you can create aesthetic examples with Midjourney and then ask Nano to create output using Midjourney style. Is that what you're saying, Bert? I'm not sure. Not sure how well Nano would apply a style, but anyway. Promptogram asks, what is the most...
if you're probably making it like you use an image, then you produce something similar looking, and then you retexture in an edit using an sref, and then it's like I actually try to do it with some of my ballerinas.
Just get on mic, Bert, so we can hear your lovely voice. And explain yourself.
I'm going to give Promptogram the answer to his question. Promptogram, we have an FAQ for that. We have it on the web. We also have it here in Discord. The question is, how do we avoid getting pretend signatures and stuff? So the first thing is examine your prompt for words that might be correlated with text. If you're asking for something that generally has signatures on it, then the output will possibly, because those things archetypally have signatures, then the thing you produce will possibly archetypally have a pretend signature. You can also try, depending on your prompt, you can use --no with a fairly specific negation. Using weights in V6 was super helpful, but as Himbo just said, if you get text, if your question isn't how do I avoid getting text, if your question is I have the image I want, but it has some text on it, or a pretend signature on it, or whatever, then using the editor is the fastest way. To get rid of it. But the --no, if you're asking like what --no should I put in there, it really depends on your original prompt. If your original prompt was, an oil painting, then your no might be no art signed by the artist or something like that. No signature by the artist, right? But if you're doing a photograph and it has a pretend watermark on it, then the --no would be something like no stock photography watermark.
I think you were mentioning in one of their streams that the negative prompts don't really work too well, like they exist. They're not perfect.
They're not perfect. Well, very little in Midjourney works all the time the way you expect. But and that's not like the weakness, like Midjourney is broken. That's just the nature of the diffusion technology. and it's improving slowly. But anything using diffusion has a degree of chaotic randomness to it that we encounter in our. We're frustrated by it because it seems like Midjourney isn't working right, but that's not quite true. Midjourney is working beautifully, and how diffusion works is in this unreliable way. Crap. So we're kind of stuck with that. But oh, now I've forgotten your original question. Oh, no, does no work or not work? So in V7 and in V6 too, in part, they didn't normalize weights very well. In fact, in V7, they deprecated weights. They're not there anymore. --no still does a weight behind the scenes, but since weights are deprecated and they're not really balanced or normalized very well, --no isn't always strong enough. In fact, often is not nearly strong enough to really affect the outcome of the image over much. You can play with --no to get it to be a little bit more powerful by changing the way you prompt. Prompt in --no, write a whole prompt in --no, a whole heckin' prompt describing what you don't want to see, rather than --no, a keyword. That's one way to take advantage of it. Another way is to use two --nos. --no blah and then a space and then --no blah something else. But then your coherency plummets because your weight then of your prompt is 0.1. No, : is gone in 7. Sonaida asks, is : 3? It's not there anymore. It is not in 7. You cannot use it except in some places in the parameters. You can wait in Discord. Well, no, we said that it works now in on the web too. You can create a string of sref codes, for example, and then weight them in relationship to each other. And negative weight them. This is exactly what I was trying to describe, Bert. A multi-step workflow. It's quite a commitment, I was saying. That sometimes you might need to make an image in something like Nano Banana instead, which has higher prompt adherency, and then bring that image back to Midjourney as your OREF or your image prompt, something that communicates the structure and composition of both, and that asks Midjourney to base its composition on those things, and maybe then Midjourney will get it more correct. Because it doesn't always work the way we hope, because Midjourney has a terrible habit of looking at an image that we bring in as a reference, and rather than using the pixels of the image, it will use the meaning of the image. So you bring it, you want let's see, a dog on the back of a donkey, and then a cat on the back of the dog on the back of the donkey, and then a mouse on the back of the cat on the back of the dog on the back of the donkey. What are these called? The something singers? That are
Brementown musicians.
say again?
Brementown musicians.
Yeah, the Brementown. Like, you give it that picture of the Brementown musicians, and instead it says semantically what you have here is a group of animals. And it'll create an archetypally appropriate collection of animals for you. And there's your donkey and your cat and your dog and your rat. But, they're all standing on the ground, not stacked anymore, and then something else might be stacked. Maybe there's a stack of stones or a stack of books, because Midjourney took the meaning of stack, and it took the meaning of the animals and a group of animals, and it just is applied an archetype to it. And it's not paying attention to the pixel arrangement of these animals, right? Now, ORAF does a little bit of a better job. But often if you give Midjourney an image prompt, it takes the meaning out of the image and not the arrangements, the pixels. Sometimes it does. So what I'm saying, it's really tough for me to tell you precisely how it's going to go. But in fact, if we can find a picture of the Brenham Town musicians, this would be a great example to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Brenham Town musicians.
Bremen.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
this worked though. Okay, spell it again.
Bremen. Bremen.
Bremen Town musicians. Okay, let's see if we can find a good picture of the Bremen Town musicians. Okay, that's pretty clear. Right? Okay. Copy image. All right, so let's see how Midjourney does with this. See, what should happen now is I'll be proven wrong.
Mhm.
Let's see. A rooster stands on a cat. The cat stands on the dog. The dog stands on the donkey.
But why did we use their actual picture as our image prompt?
Oh, well, at least I got the stacking as an image prompt because I'm trying to communicate the structure. I'm going to show step by step. Like first I'm going to use it as an image prompt. Now I'm going to use it as an image prompt and an omni reference.
Won't it mess it up because it has similar input from the text and from the image as a prompt?
Want to
you're
mess it up?
reinforcing. You're just trying to reinforce it.
I'm trying
in
to.
both written and image. Yeah.
Let's see. A stack of 4 animals. At the bottom of the stack is a donkey. The dog stands on the donkey. A cat stands on the dog. The rooster stands on the cat. Okay, I'm going to use these. And I'm going to give it room. AR23. Make it longer.
Yeah.
Balance. Okay. Although it seems to be getting the stacking fairly well. That's good.
Mhm.
It's a terrible thing. Oh, Lord. Okay, so whoops. I'm not trying to describe. What are you doing? Omni reference and oi. No. Help. Okay, omni
How does the
reference,
describe work?
style reference.
Does it make sense, the describes that it gave you?
Cartoon
like-
drawing of 3 animals. No, it miscounted the animals. 3, 3, 3. It only sees 3. And it also thinks the donkey has long hair. No. Look, there's another animal between them that looks like a chicken or a rooster, but appears friendly and is smiling. These are useless. I am so sad that people try to work with describe. So all I'm trying to say is that these these tools don't work the way we want them to. That doesn't really see what we hoped it would see. So I'm going to try to increase. I'm going to max out the image prompt weight, and I'm going to max out the omni-reference weight. Oops, I forgot to make it. I forgot to say AR23. OW and IW. Okay. See, oh look, we're getting close. Well, no. I thought maybe this one's not bad. But you know what it didn't do? It didn't just put the array the animals on the ground, which is what I thought. I thought it was gonna not understand the stacking. But it's fine. It understands the stacking. It just can't keep. Animals clear. Look at our rooster.
Creativity at its finest.
Ah, jeez. Oh, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. So what can be communicated from your starting picture is limited. It's really all I wanted to say. Now, if I took this to Nano Banana, I bet it would work just fine right away. I mean, is it even worth saying?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it definitely was gonna like do it with no issue, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll give it our picture too.
Honest, I mean, after using, I mean, I've talked about Nano Banana so much, just like people are probably sick of hearing from me, but it is really so good, and it may not have the aesthetics that you can get from Midjourney, right? I look at Midjourney as being for exploration.
For exploration, and it's for style. It's really a style tool, and it needs to be, because the prompt adherency tools like Nano Banana can't concern themselves over much with appearances. It can't do both. We don't have the power to do both right now. We can do one or the other really well. So Midjourney knows this, and Midjourney is filling. It's just a limitation of the technology, and Midjourney is just filling that gap.
Well, I mean, if Midjourney had the prompt adherence that that Nano Banana had, I mean, I think, and the coherence, the cohesion or ability to to depict the image accurately, right, without the funkiness that often some of the images you'll get if you scrutinize them. Then it would just blow everything else out of the water, with the aesthetics.
It would.
In tow,
It absolutely would. And what's likely my pet theory, and I am not speaking for Midjourney, the company, right now. I am Clarinet, speaking independently without any special knowledge or insight into what Midjourney's doing. But after seeing Midjourney license it licensed to Meta, I think to myself, maybe one of the things Midjourney can do is become the licensable aesthetic engine that other companies use. So Google licenses Midjourney and shoves it into Nano Banana somehow, and then Nano Banana can start producing Midjourney quality beauty, because it gets in the image, the base image, and then passes it off to the Midjourney part of its brain, and it comes out nicely. I don't know.
Well,
that would be cool if you could. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want to say is that you can take an image from like a image you like the style and aesthetic of the image from Midjourney and obviously bring it into Gemini or now whatever, and ask for it to reference that style and aesthetic. And it's not gonna be 100% perfect, but it's gonna, from at least with my very little experimentation, albeit that determine is that it can do a really decent job of it, I should say. I don't know. So it could be. I mean, if you have the ability to access the that now, but and have Midjourney, I think they could work together well if
I think so too.
used correctly.
That would be a nice trick. I'm trying this. Ask what I should reformat. Did I not? Oh. Okay. I'm just trying one more thing, which is to take Sinida's advice and stop trying to say what the animals are. And see, because as soon as I gave this to Midjourney, told it what the animals are, it started blending. So what if what if I take my hands off the wheel per Sinida's advice? Forgot to give it room. I'm really missing my hover over. I depend on that a lot. You can zoom in using the mouse wheel. Oh, it doesn't work for me. Can I zoom in with Control++? Is it Johnny, is it just doing the video or is it doing your entire Discord? Just the stream, that's cool. Well, you can zoom in on the horrendous blending that Midjourney does. Even when I don't mention the animals. Perhaps it's worse when I don't mention the animals. It doesn't really want the dog. It's cute though. It's a cute mess. This is the prompt troubleshooting jam session. It is Monday, December 8th. It's about noon my time. We have one more hour of the prompt troubleshooting jam session. If you have a prompt puzzle or a project that's puzzling you and you would like us to take a look at it, think this is like click and clack. Car talk. Is anyone old enough to remember car talk? Call in with your problems.
Probably old enough. I just don't know about it.
Same.
It's an NPR, a classic NPR show, a radio show called Car Talk. With Click and Clack are these two brothers that are expert mechanics and very funny guys, very salt of the earth funny guys, and they make jokes and tease people who call in and solve their car problems. But here we will solve prompt problems. Although I tell you what, I think tell me if you agree, Johnny, especially that some of you who help out in the community or who watch the community, do you feel like people are asking fewer questions about prompt adherence in Midjourney because there are so many other tools now that offer adherence that either we're losing those people to the other tools, or at least people are solving their own problems by using other tools. Or
I mean, there's definitely been lately a lot less questions in general. I guess maybe the winter season is slow or something, but I still do see people, asking about adherence. I haven't really noticed it being related to other tools, but maybe it is.
no, well, no. If you haven't noticed, it's confusing for me because traffic is quite low as far as Discord questions. I mean, there's still plenty of questions, especially there's lots of stuff on Facebook. I don't have time, or wouldn't have there. It's several full-time jobs to answer everyone on Facebook. There's also the Reddit, and I actually think Bert is talking about, and there's here, and I just wonder when we're gonna see sort of the users shift their prompt puzzles from adherence to style and aesthetics because they're just solving the adherence problems by going somewhere else. Just wondering. Bert says, based on my time on the MJ Reddit or official MJ Facebook, they're using the other tools. I see complaint posts about prompt adherence, and the comments are usually suggesting Nano or others. Yeah. So slowly but surely, I feel like people are like, that's not what Midjourney is for. The other complaints are moderation. Yeah, I bet. I can't wait until the Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of a highly aesthetic prompt adherent tool.
Shape of a bucket of water.
Right, exactly. Made this at the beginning of the stream. Hold on, a buck just walked past my window. Oh, he's showing me his ass. I think he's getting ready to jump over the fence. Exactly. This was what you pictured? He was. I didn't get a picture of it, but he was standing like his back to me and just lifting his tail. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I'm saving this to my computer now. Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, you'll have to do a cartoon when the next bizarre animal crosses in front of my window there. We do have a guest star of, as you can see up here, my dog up there. She has arrived. Shall we give her a cookie?
D.
We have cookies here. She's very interested. Okay, well, hold on. I think I might have to open this with my teeth. All right. Okay, here's a cookie from Sinaida. Wait. I'm trying to put the cookie there. There's the cookie for Sinaida. She went and stood off to the side to eat this cookie. That's her freckle. My dog has a freckle, like a single spot. Hey, Jenny, go place. Go back to your place there. Okay. All right. Okay, who else is giving a cookie? Westendorf? Here, this is from Westendorf. She's gonna get her nose all over this.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, good girl. Go lie down. Lie down. Okay. She's very alert now, you guys.
Treat could come from anywhere.
Go on. Are you going to take her out? Go on. Go. Go. She doesn't want to go because I have a cookie. Here, come. Here.
I like her leg warmers.
There we go. Okay.
She's totally wearing leg warmers.
Leg warmers. Yes, she is wearing leg warmers. Okay, she's gone outside for a bit, so I'm going to turn her off again.
She named after Jennifer Beals.
She is not.
Flashdance. That's the leg warmers.
I did not know that. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
No, her name story is pretty silly. When she was a tiny puppy, she was never tiny. She was a puppy though. Driving home from the place we picked her up from, and by the way, she vomited all over me so many times on that drive home. But we were looking at her color. You saw the color of her spot, right? That dark gold. That was she was entirely that color when she was a puppy, and she faded away to this creamy gold as an adult, except for her spot. Anyway, so we were looking at her, and I was holding her up and looking at her and examining her, and I was like, people always name their dogs after the color of the dog. So at this point, we're probably going to name her Penny. And we were looking at each other and we were like, oh God, we cannot name her Penny. Please, let's not name her Penny. And I was like, okay, well, we could change one letter. Like we'll end up calling her Jenny or something. And my wife was like, yeah, probably, but let's not. So, but we ended up, it stuck. It stuck since that drive home. We were like, we didn't know what to call her. So we were like, oh, well, we'll call her Jenny. At least we're not calling her Penny. And then then we had to do like the AKC registration. So her full name, Jenny is short for Genevieve.
Nice.
She's called, her full name is Genevieve.
With a G?
Genevieve with a G, but
Okay.
Jenny with a J. I don't know. And then
Yeah, that's fine.
Genevieve Junebug something, because she was a June baby. Junebug, and we still sometimes call her Jenny Bug and Bug.
Cute.
I can't remember her third name. I've just blanked on it. Something stupid like Genevieve Summer Junebug or something. I don't know. They make you pick 3 names.
Huh. That's weird. I guess to
Like a
avoid
racehorse.
duplicates. Yeah. Racehorses have 3 names?
They often do. Oh yeah, Johnny. my pets
Biscuit.
have infinite names, depending on what they've just done.
We should do that more with people.
Call them by what they've just done.
Give
Like,
them 8 different nicknames.
I think,
But yeah, appropriate to their behaviors.
and don't you with people that
Oh,
you're very
well,
close to, don't they accumulate nicknames?
if you associate it with their behaviors, then you might encourage split personality.
Bert, what's one of your nicknames at work? Okay, you guys, are we sure that there are no further questions or prompt puzzles or issues? Exactly, Johnny
I've left.
Bones.
I think I left the day that the style creator came out, and I haven't really. How are
Oh,
people feeling about it?
I can demo it for you. The beta is not much to write home about. But
Okay.
but the next version is going to be very cool. So why can't I? This is weird. Do you see how I can't delete these? They're prompt. There we go. Okay. So so I'm just doing this object. I chose this prompt because I want to see what faces are going to look like, and I want to see what objects are going to look like. I'm
Mhm.
just curious what those two things look like when I pick my. Now, the reason why people hesitate here is they're like, well, I want to make my style more purple. What am I just supposed to randomly pick purple things from here? Like, how come I can't do a search and say, show me all the purple styles, right? Like I can on the explore page. Why, and why can't I bring in my liked styles? Like, where's my hearts? Right. So people are really frustrated that it's random, and you can skip the grid until you find something that you have in mind. But it's really not designed for you to have anything in mind. It's designed it's designed for you to just go like, "Ooh, that's interesting." So there's
Yeah.
there's some people who are frustrated that it's an explorer
I see.
tool in the beta. At least in beta, it's an explorer tool. It's not an app. It's not a tool that supports a pursuit of something.
I see.
Now it can support a pursuit of something if you're patient enough to, skip grid until you see the thing you're after. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted the thick lines. Okay. Now the problem is, how do I see the others? Once I skip one, they're all dark. Once I select one, they're all dark. That's obnoxious.
Personally, the best luck I've had with using the Style Explorer, because I get distracted by styles, because I'm like, oh, what is that going to look like? What would that look like? What would that look like? So instead, I turn on music. I turn on a really strong music, and I put it on repeat, like of the style that I kind of want to go for or something, and then I just listen. And it kind of keeps me focused at least and not distracted.
Fascinating. That's very cool.
On going in all sorts of different directions, because that's what I'll do. I'll go, I'll wander I'll wander around and then go in directions. Like it kind of, you have to go in a direction, I think, and a feeling with it.
Well,
And it's not
certainly.
like,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. I was just gonna tell Westendorf that the thing that it does that's very impressive is that it thinks about what you selected and didn't select, and then it populates the
Mhm.
next grid based on that. So
Mhm.
it's replacing. It really helps with guiding you through, taking you on a path through
Yeah.
through styles. That's its strength,
And
I
right.
think.
So each time you refine, you should choose things that are similar to each other and not too
No,
disparate.
no, not at all. You can choose whatever you want, but this grid is based on my choice. So
Right.
if I want to break out of this grid, I have to hit the skip grid until it sort of coughs up some things that aren't so much like what I've been selecting. Like
Oh.
black and white is very different. So I'm going to select some black and whites. Now watch what happens with the grid. See, now it's a
Right.
hybrid of my prior selections and my current selections.
Yeah, I kind of
and
intuited that.
during office hours, David explained that like normally when you add srefs together, it's averages of them, whereas this is more trying to find the space, the style space. So when you select one, it's not the average of what you just did, like the average of the last one and the one
Right.
before, which I think we're used to, right? Because of what we're used to
Mhm.
playing with. Whereas this just tweaks it and kind of tugs it in that direction slightly. So I have
They're
to
more
figure
like
it out.
magnets and less like blends. Yeah. And also you'll see, do you see how different these are if I go across my breadcrumbs, Westendorf? Current, previous, first. They're jumping around, right? Because it's like I have the magnets are still there's not enough of them to stabilize where it's going. So I have to, God, I really can't see when it dims them. It dims them all when I select one. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to just select, I'm selecting two, but just for this expediency, not because you're supposed to. Now, see where it says
Right.
ideal minimum? Now that I've got it past this ideal minimum, it's going to start sort of getting more stable. Like it's going to start looking like a thing.
Okay.
Let's see.
Still offering you those black and white ones.
Yep, it remembers. I'm just trying to get a couple past 6 there. Okay, so now I'm going to click end session, which is optional. You don't have to end session, but I'm going to end session just for completion's sake. And then I'm going to go to create, and you can see the very first one, and I get this the style from every step. So, I get what I paid for, right? I spent money on these images, so I get a style. I get a style code for that. Get a style code, I get a style code. And then, this is ultimately where I landed.
Those are like very distinct style changes. What kind of parameters you have there for like, is there any stylized or like anything, or is
Nothing.
just there?
Nothing. Naked.
So you better
There's nothing.
style on like pure something.
Say again?
You're better trained style on like pure aesthetics.
Well,
Like,
the
you just
thing is that
prompt.
if I design my style with all of those parameters on, then that style's only going to look that way if I set up all the parameters exactly the same way next time. So if I
Yeah, this
don't
is
want to mess up, if I don't want to mess with parameters, or if I want to make my parameters different from moment to moment, then it's best if I design my style without any parameters in the prompt at the time, so that I don't have to depend on those parameters to make it look the way I expect it should.
what would be the best way? So like sometimes I'm getting like mixed mood boards, whatever, and there's, if you hover, there is style creator, and you can do some styles or like refine it. What if I want the exact thing? Like, would you recommend to put like just screenshot those photo images and make first a prompt out of it, or like describe them, or like what would be the right way to go? Like, let me try to find something.
Ask me the question again. I didn't quite catch it.
I'll screenshot what I mean.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're a very good communicator. Thank you. Bet this would look amazing Q4 because there's so much to embellish.
So, see, there's like a bunch of things that I have there. They're like there's chaos, and there's sref, and there's a mood board, and there's my profile. And like if I click on style creator, it will give me something. But then when I try the sref that I'm getting from it like alone, it's like completely different output.
Right.
So like, what if I want the
Because-
exact look of what I have? How to make it like, would it be like better to put those images as a mood board and use them as a mood board instead of a style, or just
no style reference. Like if you want this look in another picture, the style creator is not the way to go. The way to go is to use one of these images as your sref.
just paste it like the style reference?
Right.
Oh, nice, easy.
Easy. Yeah.
See, that's the answers from Claire that I like.
very Claire from Clarity from Clarinet.
Exactly.
So Westendorf, now that you've basically had a whirlwind tour of it, do you have any particular questions?
No, I don't think so. I guess it's sort of what I intuited from that,
Yeah.
you know, watching the images populate.
Yeah.
I did just get some really cool results from while playing with it.
Oh, let me see.
Look at this weird sort of just posted one. It's sort of
That's weird.
yeah, but like the
What?
the
Give me
sort of,
this. Give me the code. I want to put it on the big screen.
okay.
That's awesome. What the heck? What is it doing?
You need
Like
to put
pixelating.
some like dashes or something around so that it doesn't transform in a link.
Thank you. Okay, I got it. I got this sref code. So I'm gonna do a horse with this sref code and see if it becomes all cut up and collaged like
Yeah.
that. It did not.
No.
But it
Huh.
did.
It's
It
probably
did
in my
do
prompt then.
something. Yeah, it's something to do with your prompt. But it does look like what do you call this? A
Cool.
poly, low
Oh
poly,
yeah.
low poly art,
Polygon. Mhm.
polygon art. Most of these look like polygon art. I bet if I use it with a prompt that supports that, close up of a horse, portrait photography. Well, no, let's not do that. Let's just do low polygon art style. Maybe it'll support low polygon art style. I don't know if that's what low polygon art style is called. I don't remember
Right.
what low polygon
Oh,
art is
it's
called.
definitely did the
Whoa!
yeah.
Look at
Really
that.
cool. Yeah,
It's like
yeah, like that.
pixelating.
Hmm. I love it.
That's so strange. Um, see what it does to a face. It does look cool, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Mm.
And this too. Oh, look, he's turning into pixels. Okay, let me lean into that. Portrait of a sad man dissolving into a it's fine. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, it likes pixels.
Hmm. Sort of more
Oh,
structured
wow.
glitch.
This one is particularly nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is super cool.
Low res glitch.
Yeah, exactly. High res and low res at the same time. Like it's low res
Mm.
because it's got big giant pixels, but through it we're seeing
Yeah.
a high res photograph that's interesting.
Hmm. I feel like I've seen painters who do that. Like you see these blocks of paint, but your brain makes up this sharp, like you can see what it is through those blocks.
Wow. I can picture that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have about half an hour left for our prompt troubleshooting jam session. Panther Rena says, "Hi folks, I missed the beginning. What are we discussing today? Thank you so much for understanding." We are discussing the style creator, Panther. Now, how long ago? Panther asked that like 10 minutes ago. So I don't know if Panther's still there. We were just going over the style creator. Mary Smith says, "This is giving me some cool ideas for reference images for my painting projects." Oh, yeah. I love that you're matching style to music. What a cool idea. Very soundscapesy. Maybe it's a new soundscapes event, Noob Lady, that instead of making pictures, people make styles to the music. What do you think, Westendorf?
Yeah.
As long as you're, I think, putting like a song on repeat more, because it takes longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can switch, because yes, currently with soundscapes, it kind of switches lots, right? And you can't.
You'd have to do it with a 6-minute long song or something like that. Like make sure
Yeah,
the
like
tracks
the one
are long enough.
I just shared was like
Or
Machine by Imagine Dragons. So it's like 3 minutes long, and you just like repeat it, and you're just kind of.
or you could try to, string a couple songs or sounds together that you want the same vibe. So like say like
Yeah.
for the next 3 songs we're
Yeah.
doing one style.
Yeah, as long as you're not like flipping between, because
Yeah,
that would be
yeah,
hard
yeah,
with the
try to-
current style explorer. Well, even coming out, but yeah, it's kind of fun. And I just like pick a really simple prompt too. Like the one I did was just
Yeah.
dance,
How would we?
Because
How
I'm
would we
listening
show
to
it?
music.
How would we? If we'd made this into a stylescapes, soundscapes with style, and you're listening to, it's a short segment, 3 songs, and at the end you have the style you made. How do we share the styles with each other? You just
I would,
take a break between segments and share the style?
I would say, I don't know. It seems like something that like you could have people sign up and do Zoom, and then have people that like want to share their screen. Because then people can like actually watch and learn how people are using the Style Explorer as they're doing it, right? And each step and what they're selecting. I think people would get more out of it from other people, and then to watch it later. So, because yeah, like when I stream with friends, they do, and they do a D&D, right? Like they go on Zoom, and everyone has their camera. Well, you don't have to have a camera; you can just share your screen for those who want to, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you got you would have you'd be able to actively see what people are selecting. Well, if you go back to a recording or something, right? Which is possible. You're doing Twitch and YouTube, right? And you can go back to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can go back through it and you can watch certain people, what they're doing and what they selected and how they're going. And I think that's, instead of just showing the results. And there's not like I would love, and I thought about doing it, like almost like some kind of something that you can look at all your selections and what the results were, like as a whole, not just every selection. Like currently you go through it and you can only look time by time, not like almost like a graph or not not seeing it all at once. You know what I mean? How
Uh-huh.
yeah, like some image of a graph that would be produced so you could see your selections and how the changes are without having to flip through what your selections are just at a glance. I think that would, for me, that's more helpful to tie it
Mm-hmm.
all in, and for other people to learn from you. Like it's hard for other people to learn from someone that might be good um, or have learned a lot from Music Explorer, right? It's hard to learn from them without seeing them actually more do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to think about that because I think that's very, very interesting. This idea that we could make styles
The songs
with songs, with soundscapes.
or movies too. I use 1 Million Dance Studio. I watch on YouTube a lot, and they have dances as well. And so there was I don't know, there was movement along with it, right? So of course you're not watching the movement the whole time you're doing this, but you watch the movie and then you listen to the song. Yeah, you listen to songs. So that's an option too. There's like lots of like dance, right? Like talking about ballet and stuff. Well, if you had like the Nutcracker, there's like lots of people that do the Nutcracker and ballet during Christmas time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just watch one of the choreographers, and then you play the song, and everyone does their style based
That's
on the
very
song
cool.
and the choreography you just saw.
I'm going to think about this. I think this would be very cool, Noob Lady. What a great idea. So one of the things I should point out is if you do make a style, do you see, I don't know if you can see on my screen, but it says style here. It doesn't say SREF. But if you click it, it's just an SREF. So the question comes, how do I know the difference between an SREF and an SREF code and a style creator code? Like, how am I supposed to ever know the difference after they're both called srefs? Because if I have this sref, but I also have this one and this one, I'm going to delete some numbers here. You know, how am I supposed to tell which one of these came from the style creator of the three? And the answer is the one that's over 4.7 billion is the style creator one, because they didn't want, this was from Derpader is the one who noticed this, that in order to create a new or unique, a distinct set of style codes, they marked the top, like the highest sref code that could be produced through the current sref system, sref random, right? And then gave primary key IDs these numbers above it, so they're a separate, distinct set. So they don't overlap. They're never going to be. They might look very similar. You might be able to create an sref and an original sref and a style creator sref that look about the same, but they'll always be different numbers. Who is making the original sref? They're not made. It's just math. It's more like an address. Right? I actually have it's more like an address in the aesthetic latent space than it is a picture. Hey, Rapscallion. Good to see you. Hey, Alistair. Exactly, Sinaida. That's how you know you're becoming a veteran user of Midjourney. Well, this is Midjourney's prompt troubleshooting jam session. We have covered so much today, and it's been such a great pleasure to have all of you here. Thank you so much for joining me, Mary Smith and Johnny and Nagi and Noob and Promptogram and Sinaida and Westendorf and Alistair and Bert and Glupta and Panther and Buttered Toast. And I'm saying some people twice, and that's okay. I would very much like to encourage you to register for this event on our Luma site. And the reason why I say that is it's on this prompt troubleshooting jam session event page. If you actually put your name down, click the register button here, put your name down. This is how we track who wants the notes and recording from the event. So if you do want the notes and the recording sent to you, I suggest you go ahead and click this register button. And you can do that for any event on the Luma calendar. You don't have to attend the event to get the stuff. If you want the stuff, just go to the Midjourney events page and just go through and click register on all of the events if you want to, and you'll get the stuff. Even if you don't go to the event, that's fine. So feel free to do that. And I also encourage you, especially those of you who have never done it before, to click into this feedback form that I've put here. The Midjourney event feedback form, the information that you put in to the feedback form helps Midjourney bosses decide how to invest in the events. So we always encourage people to go ahead and fill that out if you want to support us. You can also put criticism in there, and it will it's anonymous. You'll be fine. I won't be mad. You can do whatever you want. For example, I am feeling critical of the fact that the arm on my owl puppet is all messed up. Do you see how the arm is not fit quite to the puppet? So that's what I would put.
Bob Dole
Bob
The-
Dole?
gripping his pen.
Oh. I can't even reset I have to reset the puppet. My poor puppet. My poor puppet. Can I reset you? There.
There you go.
Yeah, poor guy. It's his arm is still broken, but I can fix that. Anyway, so yeah, take a minute to click the register button, take a minute to fill out the feedback form. Hi, mad scientist. Yes, well, most of us are. Oh, he does not in the hi. Yes, many of us are.
Clarinet.
Yes.
I would just like to say that, yes, there are quite a few of us that are artists, and I am just listening today because I'm feverishly trying to complete my homework project for the Arts and
Ink and Algorithm Society.
Algorithm Society. Maybe bring that to everyone's attention that this is a new group that we've formed and it's super fun.
It is super fun. If you are someone who likes to talk art, like I mean art supplies, doing physical art, whether or not it involves any digital aspect, Midjourney or otherwise. And if you like to do art digitally, if you like to cross the streams and do both, this is where we kind of hang out and just nerd out about art stuff. And it's this same time period, but tomorrow on Tuesdays. So you're welcome to come and just like listen in if you want to. You don't have to like jump in and participate, but if you want to come listen to people geek out about art. We also sometimes we're working on different kinds of projects, and we do a show and tell on the call so that everyone can see everyone else's actual art. It's been a lot of fun. I think next week we'll mark our a month of the Ink and Algorithm Society. So come on. Oh yeah, is there homework that you missed? We just swapped. You know how we started with dragon scales, and then we did moth and candle, and this time it's symbols and glyphs and logos. Which means that you can try to do one, like the Ink and Algorithm Society logo if you want, or just anything, a magic glyph, whatever you're inspired to do. And it can be physical art, it can be digital art, it can be a cross between the two, it can be music, it can be writing, it can be poetry, it can be song, whatever makes your heart sing. You can
whatever tickles your fancy.
Right. And then you can optionally show it to us during the meeting.
Cool.
So I think many of you might be available, since you're available today at this time. Maybe you're available tomorrow at this time. And so, yeah, it starts at 11 a.m. Central, and you should see in your Discord chat your time that it starts. In California, I guess that's 9 a.m. start.
9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. So if you work from home or something, you can cheat and join. Oh, awesome, Bert. Are there any limitations or just any symbol you can think of? There are no limitations. You can draw something on a napkin. You can sculpt it out of mashed potatoes. Whatever you want to do.
You can just make images in Midjourney and share those.
Yep. You can even not do anything and just find something from what you've done in the past that
There you go.
happens to resonate with the theme. Ah, the new Dan Brown. He's still kicking, is he? Oh, very cool. I'll probably read that book. I'm not a huge fan of Dan Brown. He's just not my style, but I really like some of the information he packs into the stories. Yeah. For the barely retextured the style, yeah, I bet. 0 literature value, but cool setting. Precisely, exactement, mon ami. C'est vrai. Je ne parle pas le français. Ah! Pas du mot. Exactly. Okay, now that I have maligned the French people across 4 live streams, I will conclude the event. Please do remember to leave your feedback here if you haven't already, and reminder to register for the event. Did I close it? I closed it, didn't I? Register for the event on the Luma calendar. Oh, here you go. So that you get the stuff. Okay, everyone. Thank you so
See you
much
tomorrow.
for coming.